Donald Trump acts tough, talks tough, and is trying to convince China he is tough. Except in this breaking story, what he's really about to prove is how downright stupid he truly is, and also showing another thing that he didn't learn in his first term. And in this breaking story, I'm going to show you in a few seconds, the irony of all ironies is they've tried to say it to him out loud, and the evidence doesn't seem to stick with him. Take a look at what this particular individual from China said about Donald Trump and tariff trade wars.
Over the last 40 years, China's economic growth has been eclipsing that of the United States, growing at an average rate 4 times faster. China dominates global supply chains, and it holds nearly $1 trillion of U.S. debt.
China is a peer country with the United States today. If we use purchasing power parity, its economy is larger than the U.S. economy. And if anyone believes that they can stop China's steady rise as an economy, it's probably indulging in fantasy.
One thing I have to do is economically take on China.
And while America didn't listen, Kamala Harris said it out loud during the debate.
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is, under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out, when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights.
And the irony is, you know she was stone cold right because it's one of the few times Donald Trump didn't talk over and try to walk all over one of his female opponents at a debate. And then he said this:
China has been ripping us off for many years. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China.
In fact, Donald Trump's predecessors have employed measures to restrict China trade practices.
They're taking our business. They're taking our jobs. They're making our product.
But in 2016, Trump made China a major campaign issue.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing. It's the greatest theft in the history of the world. I am the chosen one.
I am the chosen one? Oh my gosh. Yes, reminds me of the time you said, I and I alone can fix it. So in this breaking story, look at what Donald Trump just said, literally just said, and now watch as he's going to slowly destroy the economy because of his arrogance and hubris. Here is the story. Take a listen.
In particular, in the very near future, we're going to be placing tariffs on foreign production of computer chips, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals to return production of these essential goods to the United States of America. They left us and they went to Taiwan, which is about 98% of the chip business, by the way. And we want them to come back. And we don't want to give them billions of dollars like this ridiculous program that Biden has. Give everybody billions of dollars. They already have billions of dollars. They've got nothing but money, Joe. They didn't need money. They needed an incentive. And the incentive is going to be they're not going to want to pay a 25, 50, or even 100% tax. They're going to build their factory with their own money. We don't have to give them money. They're going to come in because it's good for them to come in. They're giving them money. They don't even know what they're going to do with it. I had people tell me, we have no idea. We didn't need money.
The only way that you win a literal or metaphorical or financial war is if you're actually starting out close enough on the battlefield or close enough in skill, talent, resources that a form of game plan or strategy is how you wind up winning. If you're outmanned and outgunned and you're just going to stand in the middle of a field and scream, I'm bigger and tougher than you and you owe us, that doesn't usually tend to be a way that one goes about winning an actual fight of any kind. I've been in a couple, so let me make sure I add to that. The bottom line is that Donald Trump wants to beat China. He wants to stand on the top of the mountain and beat his chest and say, I am king. And while I understand that, there probably is not a lot of wiggle room in a clear beating of China in a tariff, technology, superpower, microchip, etc., tariff war with China. It's best to try and figure out a way to hum along as best you can. On this particular subject, Kamala Harris was right. And Donald, you were dead wrong. And you're about to walk us down that wrong road once again, you arrogant putz. Folks, keep smiling, stay calm, keep breathing, talk to your friends, talk to those you even don't agree with, and always stay frosty.